Hi everyone, Nasia Davos here. I'm so excited to be here again live. So today we are 4 days to Christmas. So exciting. And as promised, every day I'm sharing one tip to motivate you and empower you to start your journey and quit smoking in 2025 and reclaim your health and really your life. So today we're at tip 7 out of 10. And this is something that's if you do this right, then it can be a catalyst to your success. And it comes from a mistake that I've made so many times. So when I was a smoker, I tried to quit so many times. So many times I said, okay, I'm going to quit smoking on Monday. I threw my cigarettes away. I threw my lighters. And then Tuesday comes, or sometimes Monday night. And I'm like, I'm itching all over my body. I'm itching in my mind and I'm just feeling so deprived and doubting my decision. I'm telling myself that, oh, I chose the wrong time and now it's not the right time and I need to go to bed early so I can spend more time not smoking and have some smoke-free time under my belt. And it was this entire cycle. And sometimes I relapsed within a day or two. Sometimes I was able to push through, but then the moment something happened in my life, a bit something out of the ordinary, like something stressful happened, or I was in a social event, or my motivation was low one day, or whatever. There was always something that happened. And in that moment, I just did not have the energy, the mental space to deal with whatever it is that was happening in my life and avoid smoking. And of course, all of those failed attempts ended with a cigarette between my fingers. And you know that first cigarette after a relapse gives you all the relief and all the regret. And while I was looking back and after I created the CBQ method, I realized, you know what? I failed all these times because I was making one massive mistake and I was making it over and over and over again. And maybe you're making this mistake as well. And this is relying on willpower. Now, I know this is controversial because sometimes, especially on YouTube, people will say, oh, of course, the only way to quit smoking is with willpower. No, the only way to quit smoking and suffer is with willpower. Willpower doesn't work because willpower doesn't last. Willpower is a neuroscience fact that it's like a muscle that gets tired during the day. The more we use it, the weaker it becomes. That's why it seems harder to avoid smoking at the end of a long, tiring day. It's because everything that happened during your day added to your willpower quota, and then you're exhausted and you cannot resist smoking. But that you don't have to. That's not the way to be free. So willpower is a finite source. And yes, of course, you can exercise your willpower muscle and increase how much willpower you have, sure. But this doesn't change the fact that willpower is finite. Willpower doesn't work because willpower doesn't last. And on top of the fact that it doesn't last, willpower also makes you feel bad. It gives you a bad experience because you feel deprived. Willpower by default, it means that I want to smoke and I use willpower to resist that desire. So I feel deprived. And that's not sustainable because when you use willpower, we have the fallacy that by using willpower again and again and again, somehow time alone will take away the desire and it will make things easy for us. But this never happens because willpower does the exact opposite, because what we resist persists. So the more we use willpower to resist smoking, the more the desire persists, because willpower doesn't remove the desire. It just makes us butt heads and go against the desire. Like in my TED talk, I share this very, very simple thought experiment. So I'm asking you, and let's do this now. It takes a second. Please now, I want you to not think of a pink elephant. No matter what you do not think of a pink elephant. No matter what you think, just do not think of a pink elephant. Just resist with all your strength. Distract yourself from not thinking about a pink elephant. Just don't think about a pink elephant. What were you thinking? A pink elephant. Me too. This is a simple demonstration to show you that you cannot not think about something. You cannot force yourself to not think about something or smoking, and definitely you cannot force yourself to not want something, because what you resist persists. So that's the problem with willpower. So to quit smoking easily and make it last, it's not about resisting it until you cannot take it anymore or until something takes away the desire, because that's never going to happen. And you probably already know this from your existing experiences. I learned this the hard way after using willpower multiple times. So it doesn't work. The solution is to really reprogram your mind, reprogram the desire that tells you to smoke, the desire that tells you you need a cigarette right now, or you will be stressed if you don't smoke, or it's time to smoke, or, oh, what am I missing now? A cigarette, or it's my habit, or I deserve this, or this is the only thing I do for myself. We tell ourselves all those sorts of things, but all these words or these phrases that we use, it's my treat, it's my desire, it's just something I do. These are just symptoms. This is just flavors of our mental and behavioral conditioning. So we can use all the willpower we want and have, but this is not going to take away the desire. If anything, like I explained a moment ago, it makes the desire stronger, because when we feel deprived, smoking looks more precious, and that increases our mental addiction. So we don't want to use willpower. The way to break your pattern, your thinking patterns, and your habitual pattern, like your associations with smoking. I have a cigarette with a coffee. I have a cigarette after a phone call. With a phone call. I have a cigarette after a meal. The way to break the associations is with mind power, what the CBQ method calls mind power. The way to explain it is like this. Imagine you're on the beach and you have just went to inside the sea. You're not really floating. You're just, your feet are stepping on the sand, and you have a beach ball, and you're just trying to squash the beach ball down, put it underwater with all your strength, and you do it and you do it, and it goes underwater, and then it pops back in your face. Well, that's using willpower to quit smoking. We try to squash the desire, but it always comes back, because remember, what you resist persists. Mind power, when you use a mind power to break your pattern, it's like deflating the ball. So it goes away. And then it's easy because it's not a ball anymore. There is no force to it. And that's the magic of using mind power instead of willpower. Now, mind power is really, it's not really an airy concept. It's more of a skill. It's a skill of learning how to shift your mind so that you will deflate the desire to smoke. And what people always ask me after they learn about mind power is, okay, how do I use my mind power? But that's not the real question you should be asking. The starting point is, how do I not use my willpower? How do I just don't fall into the willpower trap? And if you find yourself going to willpower when you want to make a change, it's not your fault, because that's how we've been taught, that we have to use willpower to make changes, but that's the wrong way. So don't worry if your inclination is to use willpower. The first step, if that's you, the first step is to learn how it's like, to give yourself the experience of how it's like to not use willpower. Once you do that, it will be easy to start learning the skill of mind power. And once you learn the skill of mind power, this is life-changing forever, for every aspect of your life. That's what our members tell me all the time. When they've learned mind power, their lives changed forever, and they never again had to resist anything. So how do you not use willpower? Because that is the starting point. So imagine you are going about your day, and the urge to smoke comes. It can be predictable, like if you're driving, if you're drinking your coffee, if you usually smoke in those situations and you experience those situations as a non-smoker at first, you may have the urge to smoke. So when that happens, instead of resisting that urge or following it and lighting up, put yourself in the in-between space and just notice it with curiosity. Don't resist it. Don't follow it. Don't listen to it. Just give yourself some space and stay with it. Stay with the craving. Notice it with curiosity, not judgment. Oh, I should not be smoking, or and not catastrophizing as well. Oh, I will feel deprived, or everything will be ruined if I don't smoke. Just observe it with curiosity. Observe the urge with curiosity. and without any judgment, and notice, where is the urge? Where can you locate it in your body? Is it in your mind? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your heart? Is it in your fingers? All these are mental cravings, but all our thoughts correspond visually as a mental representation in a place in our body. So when you notice you have the urge to smoke, just notice, where is it in your body, and then observe it further. What shape is it? Yeah, what shape is it? What color is it? Is it fire red? Is it light blue? Is it black? What is the color of the urge? And then just notice a little bit more closer. What does it tell you? Because all craving thoughts, which are mental cravings, is positive thoughts about smoking, are thoughts that tell you to smoke. The CBQ method was the first to say that mental cravings are just thoughts, and the experience of a mental craving is a thought. Of course, thoughts cannot hurt you, break you, or make you do anything, but they can be very overwhelming and out of control if you don't handle them properly with mind power. So first, notice, what does your craving tell you? What will happen if you don't smoke? What will happen? What's the promise if you do smoke? What is the benefit that your craving mind tells you that smoking in that moment will give you? So start with that. Even if you smoke later on, give yourself that experience, that space of how it's like to stay with your urge, where you neither resist it nor follow it and listen to it. And by creating that space for yourself, this is the first step to accessing your mind power. So let me know if this was helpful to you. This is one of the best things I can teach you, and this is the opening door to the concept of no willpower and mind power instead. You can search our YouTube videos for more videos on willpower and mind power. If you're in the CBQ program, you will actually learn all the skills on how to use your mind power. But everyone, we start with this simple experience that I shared in this video. Giving yourself this, I promise you, it can change everything for you. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you all for joining me live, and see you again soon.